Yo, everybody, it's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. Ooh, yeah. It's week 17 in the NFL, and this may be the last time a lot of you see your team. Hopefully, my team, the Rams, make it. But that being said, I'm going to do a little something new. I'm going to go over my write-up, why I feel these players are going to, hit, and, then I'll go through the slates of the early slates and just tell you who I think is the hitter right there. Let's get to it. Ooh, yeah. Rowdy, it's Heat Override. So let's get to it. Bring the bang. What is up, everybody? Alright, so yeah, like I said, I contemplated about doing audio or a video right now. And, I just thought to go audio because I got my book. I'm going to read it off, if there's things I got to look up or, things I want to do. I want to, build something with y'all too. So you get that. So this is week 17. The pricing we'll be doing is DraftKings. Of course, a lot of my write-ups, the people I put in here can work on both sides. So, just letting you know that. Ooh, yeah! It's great. Right now, Ray is upstairs selling that paparazzi jewelry, so get that over there. All right, well, let's get to it. So, if you want the full write-up, you're going to have to go to my Patreon at www.patreon.com/bringthepain. If you're a pain bringer, you can get my write-up. I do put it on there, and I do put some lineups sometimes. I mean, I delete a lot of things after, the days are done. And I still keep them all locked. I'll let it all go, I can let it go public and stuff like that. We'll go from there, It's just fun, play. I like to write it down, and because I write it down, it slows the game down for me. I've been doing this for almost a decade, people. Over a decade, but seasonal fantasy football, man, I've been doing it for a long time. Ooh, yeah! Uh-huh. So let's get to it. Ooh, yeah. All right, so quarterback, we're just right up at the top. You got to go playoff teams. If you're not playing a team that's set in the starter, and unfortunately for a lot of you people who have seasonal fantasy teams that have a week 17 matchup, oh man, you guys getting killed. I know I've seen some of them do like a 2-week one. Man, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's good. I think you got to leave week 17 alone. You need your starters. You need the people you drafted. We don't need their backups and their backups trying to win games. It makes it kind of hectic for DFS. It's just not worth it. So let's stick to the people who got to get in, like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They're at Cincinnati. He's $8,000, one of the more expensively priced quarterbacks, but that quarterback is definitely going to get it done. He wants to get to the postseason. He's going to do what he has to do to get there. Of course, that you will not get my full write-up on this podcast or at my free Married with DFS site or my Bring the Pain site on Facebook. You will not get my full write-up, so I'm not going to do that right now. So we're going to skip my number 2. We're going to go to number 3, Aaron Rodgers. They got to keep that number 1 seed alive. I'm pretty sure they got it locked up. They got Chicago. They're in Chicago. Chicago's pretty much a mess, but they are fighting to get into the playoffs too. So you got a lot to work with right here. So Aaron Rodgers, 7,400. It's a great play. We're going to go all the way down to Baker Mayfield at 5,500. I know he's playing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's resting a lot of their starters, and they're really not going to be playing this game too much. The Browns have to play this game. They have to win to make sure that they can get in the playoffs. The Steelers don't give a shit. So that being said, that's what's going to happen. There's your number 5, 135. Moving over to running backs, we're going to go with Derrick Henry, number 1. Yes, Tennessee cannot lose a game, especially against Houston in Houston. They're the better team. They should definitely win this. 9,400 is a hard price on Henry, and I know that he did not come through last week, but, what do you got to lose? So last week we'll have all these people to use other than, maybe, like Henry and Rodgers all going in and stuff like that. Hopefully they make it. Let's move over to number 3, Jonathan Taylor, Colts. They're playing Jacksonville. He's 74, and he's $2,000 cheaper. They have to win, and it should be it's a division game. Division games can be tricky, but I think overall, Indianapolis should easily win this game. Taylor's going to be a huge part of the workout. They're probably even going to rest Nyheim Hines just in case they need to use him in the passing game, in the quick pace game, in the playoffs. So we're going to see where that goes from that. That's where we're going. Let's go all the way down to number 5, 5,900, Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones is back. He's healthy. Tampa Bay kind of doesn't really have to win this game. They can pull their starters. So they're probably going to run the ball a lot, get through the game. I heard Tom Brady is going to play. So that being said, you have to take that into consideration. Ronald Jones, they got to get him into playoff shape because he's going to have a game he's going to have to play next week. And he's got to be fresh. So Ronald Jones, and 5,900 is a great price. Let's move along to wide receivers, Davante Adams. I mean, this guy might not play a full game, but Chicago's going to be trying to play. Green Bay wants to stay in Green Bay because, a lot of dome teams don't translate well up there, a.k.a. the Saints. But they got to do it. And even if he gets like a quarter and a half, 3 quarters of work, man, he can put up 1, 2, 3 touchdowns in that quarter work. That's what's going on. Number 3, A.J. Brown. Yeah, let's get that Tennessee game going. They got to get in the playoffs, 7,200. That's a good, modest price. But he seems to get it done. He's getting the targets. I don't even know what happened with Corey Davis last week, so I'm not going to even recommend him. But yeah, get that guy in your lineup. And let's go for Ty Hilton, Jacksonville. 5,800. That's a great price for a guy in a great spot that's going to get lots of targets. I watched the game last week with Indy, and yeah, he was getting the ball thrown his way almost every time. Yeah, Rivers didn't get it close to him all the time, but targets are targets, people. That's what you want. That's what you get. If it amounts to catches, sometimes you don't always need a touchdown if your person gets like 10, 12 catches. He's not going to get that for you. Let's be realistic. But he can. He can do some stuff. So, moving along to tight ends. And of course, you're going to see I don't really have any Chiefs in any of this because they're wrapped up. They're going to be resting people. I don't know. I think the only reason why Kelsey's going to go out there is maybe to maintain the yards. But I don't think that's a problem now. Number 1, Darren Waller. Is that Denver? If Oakland, actually I should say Vegas, is going to win this game and get into playoffs, have a chance to get into playoffs, they got to win this game. This is a must-win. This is an easy win for them. It's going to be hard. They're in Denver. The defense plays tough there. 7,100. But mark down to George Kittle. I don't think he'll get much play, but it's a rivalry game. So I could see the 49ers going in there and being a spoiler, giving the Seattle Seahawks a loss, sending them, get them a packet and stuff like that. 6,000. Mark Andrews, though, I think is a hot play. He's really stepped it up the last few weeks. Lots of catches, lots of yards, not really getting the end zones. He did get in the end zone, though, over the last few weeks, though. So let's just remember, that's good, 58. Bam. Okay, so I'm actually giving you almost all my tight ends. I'm going to stop it right there since you got Waller, Kittle, and Andrews. I'm not going to give you my 4 and 5, but let's just be known, they're under $4,500. You'll want to get in there. Defense, Ravens is number 1. I'll give you all of them. Colts, Saints, Broncos. Saints, 34. It's a little expensive, and the Rams are 3,300. They really got to get in there. So the Rams probably will do good, but I think the offense is in a bad spot with so many people sitting out. So we'll see what goes with that. But my crazy 4 is the Broncos, actually. That's what I just said. Sometimes the Raiders play really bad. And the Broncos defense is really good in Denver. 2,400. It's crazy, but that's why I call it my crazy 4. Crazy 4. Ooh, yeah. All right, the players that bring the pain. I only ever give you 1 each. So if you want to know that, you want to go there, you're going to have to go to my Patreon, Bring the Pain. You can sign up for $2 to see the rest of my write-up. And you can see where I'm going. You already see my convictions. You already see what I'm talking about. You see how I'm playing. You can see that I'm targeted the Tennessee players, that I'm targeting Green Bay players, and that I'm targeting Ravens players. And some Buffalo players that we didn't mention. So, that being said, players that bring the pain, it's going to be Derrick Henry. Superheater, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. Because I didn't give you the other 2 that are my superheaters. That's for you to go pay for. Sorry, unfortunately, that's what I got to do. I'm giving you podcasts, I'm going to give you content, and I'm going to give you all this for free. No, at least if I'm going to do that, I'm going to put that up there on my thing, try and make a few bucks off it. But you will be able to read these when I get everything written down here in a bit on my Married with DFS and my Bring the Pain websites on Facebook. Now, let's talk a little bit. This has been a crazy football season, so you got to kind of go into it. We'll try. We'll do a build. We'll build a morning lineup. How about that? And then we're going to build a late lineup, and then I'll just kind of talk you through it. So using what I'm looking at right now, we just do 1 o'clock only because I'm not going to do the whole thing. We can. So immediately I see Lamar, Allen, Brady, Roethlisberger, Cousins, Dalton, Mayfield. See, now Mayfield right there, that really looks good for me. Now Tua's going to come in there because the Dolphins really got to win. But the problem with it is so does the Buffalo has to win too. And I just think Buffalo's on a roll. So for me, I'm going to go right to, I'm looking at Cousins. And Cousins looks good, 6,300. You're looking at about anywhere from 15 to 22 points. Cousins. Defense, immediately just go right to the Ravens. Yeah, that's what we're going to do right there. We're just going to go that. But we do have, some other good defenses too. The Lions, the quarterback, Stafford just doesn't seem to be doing it. He's probably going to sit. He's not sitting. Yeah, you could go Vikings at 26. And if Dallas just craps out, you got the Giants at 27. But right now, we're going to go with the Ravens. Go to tight end. Because you have the Ravens defense, you're going to have to pay down. But I'm going to go with Gesicki. Oh, yeah. All right, let's go over to running backs. So Madison's going to get some work. So we're going to go Madison right there. Now, running backs. You got Chubb, Dobbins, Gaskins, Elliott, Swift. Now, and Kareem Hunt as well, and then Ronald Jones, and then Fournette. So to avoid all that, what I like to do is who's going to be the single back in a team that has to win. That's what kind of scares me away from Zeke Elliott and DeAndre Swift, even though I do like them. I think Benny Snell can get a lot of play in this game. I don't think they're going to play Connor too much. So therefore, and they're going to be working really hard. So we got Madison in right there. I think, honestly, we could probably go down to Kareem Hunt because, for me, Kareem Hunt gets decent play. I think that, Pittsburgh not having all those starters, they're not going to be really in there. And I think it could be a passing game. So for right now, though, let's do our second running back. Let's just do it. Let's just do Dobbins for now, okay? Wide receiver, you got Ridley, Diggs, Jefferson, Evans, Thielen, Deontay Johnson. See, now I'm a little scared about the Pittsburgh quarterback situation, and Cole Beasley's already out. So I like Marquise Brown, so we're going to throw in him. Now that makes me want to take out J.K. Dobbins. But we'll see if we get to that, okay? So right now we got about 5,500 for some good people. So we got Amari, we got Claypool, we got Brown. Brown's 5,500. So, Brown's back in the postseason. You got CeCe Lamb. He's really turned it on right now. I've been playing this guy a lot. So I'm going to put CeCe Lamb in there because I just like him right now. I like him. I don't know why you don't. Right there, you want to go to Mr. 5,100, Marvin Jones. It just doesn't really do well for me. And, I think right now you got Crowder. He looks pretty good. You got Jacoby Myers. You got Gallup in this little area right here at the 5,000. You got Slayton down here at 41, catching 2 of 8 targets. Get the hell out of here, bro. So what right now I'm going to do is, since I have one receiver and one flex left, and I do have a lot of Ravens. I guess not, just Dobbins, Brown, and all that stuff. So how about we go take Dobbins out and we put here's the handle typically. Let's go Zeke against the Giants. All right, going to receivers. I want a big time receiver. Calvin Ridley's the highest guy on the market, but right now I think we go Diggs. And then we come down to 3,600. And then this is where you're going to get a little crazy, okay? So you want to see, since they're all hurt, since they got some They got some injuries. The Bills have John Brown back, so that's good. But the Cole Beasley isn't in. So you know what that means? John Brown at 3,600's the freaking play. Okay, so but that right now gives you Kirk Cousins, Madison, Zeke Elliott, Marquise Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, Mike Gesicki, John Brown, and the Ravens defense. Now, I would want to come off of Diggs and go up to Calvin Ridley, but I'm going to let this just play right there. So you got that lineup right there, okay? So, and I'm going to have variances of that lineup. I definitely want to go high on quarterback. I want to get Lamar in there. And also think of Jalen Samuels, too, because I think he's going to get some play. Maybe McFarland for the Steelers. But at that point, what are you getting? 4, 5, 6 rushes? Do you really want to do that? I mean, that's not to me. Let's go to the 4 o'clock games, 8 o'clock. So we got Mahomes, we got Watson, Murray, Rodgers. I like Herbert. He's most likely going to play, but they could be resting, Kansas City, that is. So Herbert could have an easy game, but I think Ryan Tannehill got to play a good game after that crappy game he had last week. But don't forget about Phillip Rivers, too. So right here, right now, you want to look at that little range right there. You got Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Tannehill, and Herbert. I take Herbert. I think that he'll do it. Go right to your defense. Remember I said the Colts defense definitely own this. They definitely can handle it. It's 3,900. So that seems to be the play right now that we're going to do. So we'll do the Colts. Let's go to tight end. Okay, it gets real bad right away. So you got Hunter Henry that is still out. So you got Parham. And Parham got 2 for 47 last week. So let's go Parham for 2,900. That's going to give you some salary relief. That gets you Derrick Henry right there. Right? Let's get David Montgomery in there. Now flex. We're going to have to really go something good with this. We got to make this a real hitter. We got to think about who we're going to put in. So for now, let's go up to the receivers. And the receivers go right there. Boom. AJ Brown. I think Woods is probably going to have to play, but I don't like it right now. So let's just find our guys. Let's find our guys. Zach Pascal. Now Zach Pascal did a great. He gets a lot of targets. He is down on the receiving board, and I do like Ty, but he will get his play as well as Will Pittman. So let's go up. Let's see what we got here around the 6. We got Corey Davis, 6,200, not playing for that chump. Robbie Anderson and everybody's going to play this game. They're not really impressive. Kiki Kuti, he looks in there. So we're looking at Brandon Cooks. So let's throw Brandon Cooks in there. Okay, so because we went heavy at running back and all that crazy jazz stuff, we're not going to be able to get, really big time receivers. So you're going to have to play. So this is where you're going to put Ty Hilton in. All right, this is where you're going to go down, and you're going to look at Kiki Kuti instead of Cooks. All right, that's just what's going to have to happen for right now while we look at that. But Kiki will get his play. All right, so you got to go to receiver now. Now we got to go down. We got to go down. Got to pay down. You see MVS right there. You see Hunter Renfrow. You see Jalen Guyton. So you want to look right there. There's your guy right there, Josh Reynolds. Doesn't seem like the likely play, but without Cooper Kupp, Josh Reynolds is going to be getting a lot of play. Plus, Josh Reynolds has been a punk dropping some balls and stuff like that. Gives you 4,400 for your flex. You got Jamal Williams. He's going to play. Darwin Thompson, Noah Fant, Malcolm Brown. So right there, you're going to look at the Rams will probably be running. They're going to have Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers going. So it's not a good matchup. You're not going to get a running back right down here about this time, like maybe McKinnon. So really, when you get that 4,400, you almost want to go Jamal Williams because you know that they didn't have him. They haven't been using him. So let's see what we can do here. We got our defense. Let's go off of the Colts defense. You know what? Let's go to the Rams. 3,300. That gives us 5,000. 5,000 leads us to the right guy. We're taking. We got Mike Williams, A.J. Dillon, Nyheim Hines, and then, so I think right here, I think Darrell Williams for the Kansas City Chiefs. Because I think that, I think, Edwards-Helaire is going to sit. I don't think Bell's going to get much work, so I think this is a Darrell Williams game. So right there, this is what you got. Herbert, Henry, Montgomery, Hilton, Kuti, Reynolds, Parham, Darrell Williams, Rams defense. Let's see what we got. You can get the Saints defense. We'll go with the Rams. Wait a minute here. All right, Hilton, bam. There you go. And if you want to move the Lockett, you can move the Lockett. That's on you. So there you go. You got two. You got a day lineup and you got a night lineup. All right? And then we're going to do one more. We'll do a full slate right here, right now. Boom. Going right to the cheap guys for quarterback. Baker Mayfield. Defense. I almost want to go right to the Browns because that's nice at 25. I think that Rudolph not starting all year is a bad thing, but let's play it. Let's get the Ravens in there. Let's get Mike Gesicki. Yeah, let's do Gesicki. He's going to be a big part. So we got the Ravens defense, Gesicki, running back. You see, Henry's nice. Henry is nice. We're going to go Henry because they got to get in. Running back, mandatory Montgomery, definitely in. Now this is where you go. This is where you're going to have to go cheap. You want a cheap running back, but you want to make sure that you get exactly what you're paying for. So you can look at Melvin Gordon at 57 right now. He gets enough touches. Sometimes those touchdowns don't really work out for him. Gio Bernard has been really highly, used a lot in the last couple of weeks. And I think that you got to go Gio Bernard right there at 5,400. So that gives us about 4,500 per receiver, right? Well, you got to go to Reynolds. You got to go to Josh Reynolds for the Rams, right? So that's going to give us 5,200. 5,200, you want to move it all the way down. Now you got Kiki Kuti. You're looking at CeCe Lamb, 5,200. I think CeCe Lamb is getting worked in. Dallas has a chance. We got 5,200 right there. Bam, you got Sterling Shepard, Marvin Jones, Sammy Watkins. And that, if we think about going up 1,000, you got Ty Hilton, you got Amari Cooper, so let's come off of CeCe. Let's see if we can find ourselves a cheap receiver. All right, so we got, bam. Now, I don't really like my Zach Pascal. He was great last week, I think, at 36. But right now, I think John Brown might do some crazy stuff. So what if we... Oh, man, what if we play some John Brown? But Gabriel Davis, man. Gabriel Davis. I'm looking at John Brown right now. Bam. And so let's see. Let's go John Brown. And that gives you 68. So it leads right to Deontay Johnson or Chris Godwin or Landry. So since we did Baker Mayfield, we're going to go Landry. Let's see if we can we got 3,900. Let's see what we got right here. Danny Amendola. 5 of 7. I don't like that. That's not going to be big. Pringle, Renfro. That's not going to be it. MVS wasn't even targeted last game. So right now, you're kind of looking at Baker Mayfield, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Josh Reynolds, Jarvis Landry, Mike Gesicki, Giovanni Bernard in the Ravens defense. So we're going to come off the Ravens defense. We're going to come off. All right? Now, this is where you kind of look at it. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go really cheap right now and just go crazy? Just pull the Vikings? Or do you want to, even go cheaper than that? For me, right now, I'm going to go. I think we're doing it. I think we do Rams. Let's do Rams. Gives us 4,800. 4,800 leads us to Robinson, Rashard Higgins, Kendrick Bourne, and Alan Lazard. Now, Alan Lazard has been getting some targets. That is not enough for me. I think Mecole Hardman, though, 3 catches. That's crazy. I know Tyreek Hill is going to be sitting. So, Robinson. I don't think he's going to play much either. So let's move up. Let's see what we got here. We got Rams. Got Landry. So if we come down off of Landry, we only got Marquise Brown. I like him. Let's do Brown instead of Landry. And we get the 4. We get Nelson Aguilar, Curtis Samuel, and CeCe Lamb. Know what? Do it. CeCe Lamb. 3,500 left gives you the Patriots defense. I don't think the Patriots have anything to say. I think you go Rams defense. You have 200 left. Baker Mayfield, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Josh Reynolds, CeCe Lamb, Marquise Brown, Mike Gesicki, Giovanni Bernard, and the Rams defense. That's what we'll do. That gets you your free lineups. And that is how you bring the pain this week. I hope everybody had a good episode. I hope you take all the things that went into it. Now, you can also, as part of my Patreon, if you do become part of my Patreon, you can message me and you can get more of what I'm going to come out of with those. So right there, you got my base lineups. You play those in save 50-50. You should definitely double your cash easily with those lineups. No ifs, ands, or buts. You can even throw them in a tournament. Believe me, I create gold. So let's do it. That's enough for today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Let's watch some football. There's been bowl games going on. And that's how you bring the pain.